A simple process to find strong cold audience targeting options for your Facebook ads without over complicating it. First of all, here's where to find targeting. You want to go to your campaign and then open your ad set and then scroll to the audience section. Under detailed targeting, this is where we add interests, demographics, and behavior. This is the section we'll be working with. Now, let's walk through how to select the right detailed target interests, and I will show you my exact thought process so you understand the logic behind choosing each one. So for example, let's say I have a store that sells shoes. The first thing I'll do is go into the detailed targeting field inside the ad set. When selecting interests, you want to always pay attention to the text inside the parentheses next to each interest, because that tells you the category Meta uses to define that audience. You can also hover over the interest to see more details about who is included within that audience. So the first interest I'm going to type in is shoes. When I see shoes, footwear, that's exactly what I want. It perfectly aligns with my product because it targets people specifically interested in footwear. You can also see the estimated audience size here for the US, which is around 79 million people. And that is a strong and relevant base audience. Next, you want to ask yourself what type of person buys shoes and what kind of shoes might they also be interested in. So a natural direction would be trainers, so I'll search for trainers. If I find trainers, footwear, that's another very relevant and aligned interest. It still falls under footwear, not something underlined like fashion accessories or general clothing. The estimated audience size in the US is around 45 million people, which is solid interest to test. Now you want to take it a step further and target a competitive brand, because this is a great way to reach people who already buy similar products. A well-known brand is New Balance, so I'll type in that. If I see New Balance footwear, that is another excellent, highly relevant audience. And the estimated size for this interest in the US is around 21 million people. By targeting New Balance, I'm reaching people who already show interest in a brand within the same category. So the thought process here is start with the most direct interest, which is shoes, for example, and then you want to expand to a related category within the same niche. For example, trainers, and then you want to target competitor brands, let's say New Balance. And all these clearly show footwear in parentheses, which confirms the audience is aligned with the product we are selling. So inside detailed targeting, you can continue to find another one or two relevant interests that make sense for this niche. The goal here is to build a list of around 5 to 10 highly relevant detailed targeting interests for testing. And you want to aim for not more than 10. So keep your list clean, logical, and relevant so you can clearly identify which audience performs best when you start testing. So for example, since we're talking about shoes, if you sell premium leather shoes, you want to select something like luxury goods, leather goods, men's fashion, and things like that. But you want to avoid things like running shoes, kids shoes, and sportswear. Next, we want to select one per ad set. So don't mix multiple targeting options together. You want to create one ad set per targeting option so you can clearly see which audience works and which doesn't. After this lesson, you should have a list of 15 to 20 or even 30 cold targeting ideas. And then you want to narrow down to your top selected test first. And then you should have 3 separate ad sets ready to launch. All right, so next lesson we'll cover custom audiences. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.